Welcome back, warrior. Ruth chapter 2. Okay, here we go. Ruth gleans in the fields of Boaz, a near relative of Naomi. He treats Ruth kindly. Okay, and Naomi had a kinsman of her husband's, a mighty man of wealth, of the family of Elimelech, and his name was Boaz. And Ruth the Moabitess said unto Naomi, Let me now go to the field and glean ears of corn after him, in whose sight I shall find grace. And she said unto her, Go, my daughter. Okay, so it's kind of awesome that she had a rich relative. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so verse 3. And she went. Okay, so before this, really quick, we're just going to recap. Naomi went back to Bethlehem, and she is trying to live her life now. Naomi and Ruth, they're trying to live their life there, but of course Naomi's probably trying to find Ruth someone, because she feels bad that she had given up her life for her. And so, yeah, anyway. So verse 3, and she went and came and gleaned in the field after the reapers, and her hap was too light on a part of the field belonging unto Boaz, who was of the kindred of Elimelech. Okay, so part of the law of Moses detailed one way that the Israelites could care for the poor. And this is what it says in Deuteronomy. It says, when thou cuttest down thine harvest in thy field, and hast forgot a sheaf in the field, thou shalt not go again to fetch it. It shall be for the stranger, for the fatherless, and for the widow. Deuteronomy 24:19. Okay, I love that, because it's like that's how they accounted for the poor and the widows and stuff. So it was the way that the rich people, I guess, took care of the poor, was by just allowing things to fall on the ground. And whatever fell on the ground, you could eat. That was like what our neighbor would do with his peach orchard. He was like, if you ever see any peaches on the ground, you can have them. And we were like, yes. And so we had to instruct our children, though. We were like, listen, these peaches were from the floor, the ground. You may not touch the peaches that are hanging, right? And so, because if a peach hits the floor, now it becomes tender on that side. And so they can't sell them as good. So it was okay for us to do that, which I thought was awesome of our neighbors to do that. And so we ended up with a lot of fun peaches during summertime. And then they would also sell peaches to us, which we would generously purchase off of them, because they were so good, Okay, so verse 2 helps us see how poor Naomi and Ruth really were, though, since they had to glean the ears of corn from the fields of Boaz. So she went to the field after the reapers, who were cutting down the corn and grain, then would pick up what was dropped and left behind, right? Once a proud wife in Moab, Ruth was now humbly picking up the dropped harvest, and she did so willingly. That's crazy. Imagine how different life could have been for Ruth had they stayed in Moab. But imagine how destitute Naomi would have been. She would have been the one gleaning in the fields. And poor Naomi, you just feel so sad for her. And I hope you hope that somebody would have taken her in and would have taken care of her, because she was a widow and both her sons died and the daughter-in-law's left, right? But at least you could see the charity in Naomi's heart or in Ruth's heart, and just giving up her whole life for her mother-in-law. So super, super awesome. Really quick, what was I going to do? Now we're going to experience the kindness of Boaz, okay? Verse 4, and behold, Boaz came from Bethlehem and said unto the reapers, The Lord be with you. And they answered him, The Lord bless thee. And they said, Boaz unto his servant that was set over the reapers, whose damsel is this? And the servant that was set over the reapers answered and said, it is the Moabitish damsel that came back with Naomi out of the country of Moab. And she said, I pray you, let me glean and gather after the reapers among the sheaves. So she came and hath continued even from the morning until now, that she tarried a little in the house. Then said Boaz unto Ruth, hearest thou not my daughter? Okay, so Boaz unto Ruth. Okay, so he said, hearest thou not my daughter? Go not to glean in another field, neither go from hence, but abide here fast by my maidens. Let thine eyes be on the field that they do reap, and go thou after them. Have I not charged the young men that they shall not touch thee? That they shall not touch thee? And when thou art athirst, go unto the vessels and drink of that which the young men have drawn. Then she fell on her face and bowed herself to the ground, and said unto him, why have I found grace in thine eyes, that thou shouldest take knowledge of me, seeing I am a stranger? And Boaz answered, she must have been so cute, And Boaz answered and said unto her, it hath fully been showed me all that thou hast done unto thy mother-in-law since the death of thine husband, how thou hast left thy father and thy mother and the land of thy nativity, and art come unto a people which thou knewest not heretofore. The Lord recompense thy work, and a full reward be given thee of the Lord God of Israel, under whose wings thou art come to trust. Then she said, let me find favor in thy sight, my Lord, for that thou hast comforted me, and for that thou hast spoken friendly unto thine handmaid, though I be not like unto one of thine handmaids. And Boaz said unto her, at mealtime come thou hither, and eat of the bread, and dip thy morsel in the vinegar. That she sat beside the reapers, and he reached her parched corn, and she did eat, and was sufficed, and left. Okay, so damsel, young woman. When she says I pray you, means like please or ask, or like she was asking. When he says it hath fully been showed me, just means that somebody told him all the story of what Ruth has gone through, Okay, so knowing Naomi's story, Boaz responds with compassion, offering Ruth more than was required. He invites her to remain in his fields with the young women, providing both protection and companionship, and allows her to drink from the water drawn by his servants. His actions reflect generosity and thoughtful care. Ruth, surprised by his kindness, asks why she has found favor despite being a foreigner. Boaz answers by honoring her faithfulness to Naomi and blessing her for trusting in the Lord. He exemplifies true stewardship, using what he has to bless others. In this story, each person has both needs and something to give. As they offer what they can, their lives intertwine with grace, hope, easing grief, and love, healing loss. Okay. And then verse 15. And when she was risen up to glean, Boaz commanded his young men, saying, let her glean even among the sheaves, and reproach her not. And let fall also some of the handfuls of purpose for her, and leave them, that she may glean them, and rebuke her not. Okay, so super kind. He's like now doing like the extra most best. Like just drop a little, like when you're doing your job to the people who are supposed to collect all the stuff. He's like, maybe drop some that she can have, drop some good ones, which I think is super nice. So she gleaned in the field until even, and beat out that she had gleaned, and it was about an ephah of barley. And she took it up and went into the city, and her mother-in-law saw what she had gleaned, and she brought forth and gave to her that she had reserved after she was sufficed. And her mother-in-law said unto her, where hast thou gleaned today? And where wroughtest thou? Blessed be that he that did take knowledge of thee. Like, so she was aware, that she is getting more than she needs, right? And she showed her mother-in-law with whom she had wrought and said, the man's name with whom I brought today is Boaz. And Naomi said unto her daughter-in-law, blessed be he of the Lord, who hath not left off his kindness to the living and to the dead. And Naomi said unto her, the man is near of kin unto us, one of our next kinsmen. So wouldn't that be nice to have so first of all, she's going and gleaning, and she didn't know where she was going. She was just going wherever she could, right? And then this guy, this rich guy, is like, oh yeah, I know your story, blah, blah, blah. You're awesome. How about you do this? How about you come and I'll just give you lots of extra, basically is what it seems like. Just feel free, and I will make sure that the guys on my property know not to worry about you and to let you take whatever you want. And then, and they have to drop a little extra for her even, right? Even a little extra. And so then Boaz is being so nice. And then Naomi finds out that this guy is being so nice. And it's isn't it awesome to find out that your relative is taking care of your kids, but your kids didn't know that they were related to them, and it's just kind of fun to know, hey, yeah, we will take care of you because, or hey, yeah, my kids are going to be taken care of. The Lord is taking care of them. And that even people who might seem complete strangers are taking care of them, but they are for real family, So anyway, it's kind of cool to see that, that she was being taken care of. And then, let's see, finally, nope. Okay. So Naomi was super shocked that Ruth got so much food. And so that's why she was asking about where she went. Where'd you go today? And Ruth the Moabitess said, he said unto me also, thou shalt keep fast by my young men until they have ended all my harvest. And Naomi said unto Ruth, her daughter-in-law, it is good, my daughter, that thou go out with his maidens, that they meet thee not in any other field. So she kept fast by the maidens of Boaz, to glean unto the end of barley harvest and of wheat harvest, and dwelt with her mother-in-law. Okay, so I guess she just got to stay with her or stay with the field of Boaz, and didn't go anywhere else because Boaz told her not to go anywhere else and to just stay there. And she and her mother-in-law, Naomi, was like, yeah, that's a good idea. Stay there. Seems like he's taking really good care of you, right? So anyway, I think that is awesome. Here's a thought starter. How do you see the Lord's hand in this story? And what do you learn about generosity and kindness? Okay. Until Ruth chapter 3. Stay strong, warrior.